Hello, GMS. I am coming to you September 17th, and it's not just any old day, it's National Dot Day. Now, if you had me in elementary school, which I taught at PLE for a few years, so I know I had people that, well, I guess eighth, seventh, and sixth graders. All of you, if you went to PLE, you had me in class and know that I love National Dot Day, and I couldn't go by without celebrating it here. Even though you're at home, I figured we can still celebrate. I'm going to put my face in the dot. So, today, every year, September 17th is our National Dot Day. And what do you ask? What is Dot Day? Well, here we go. I have this, I know that this is a children's book, but I think we can all learn a lesson from Vashti in this book by Peter Reynolds. So to start off Dot Day, I want you to listen to this story, and then I got us a little project to celebrate it.
The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow. She discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on a bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots were quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Sign it." The end.
Okay, so now we're all familiar with dot day. Let me get out of here so it doesn't start playing again. Oh, it did. Okay, so Vashti, I think this is a really valuable lesson in the art room because I've had so many times that you all come in and you say exactly that. I can't make a straight line with a ruler. Well, art's not about making a straight line. And it's about your self-confidence in loving what you do. So that's why I love this story. That's why I wanted to share it with you and make sure that we celebrate it today. And on a celebrating dot day, I thought we'd celebrate an artist known for her dots. And she is quoted by saying, I'm just another dot in the world. And I'm going to probably butcher her name because she's a Japanese artist. But I try to write out how to say it, but Yaoi. You will love her work. It's just so hypnotizing, interesting. She's been a big impact on the fashion world as well. But who is she? So this woman with this red wig, still living. She was born in 1929 and still going great. So avant-garde Japanese artist. So her avant-garde was just whatever she liked is what she did, just kind of like Vashti. So characterized by dots and bold color palettes and organic forms, her aesthetic is probably best tied by her pumpkin art. And you know what September is the start of? Fall. And what do we do in Kentucky in the fall? We go to a lot of pumpkin patches and we celebrate all things fall and pumpkin spice. So that makes it even more perfect for us to speak about this artist. And that's two reasons why it's so great to talk about her is that she does dots, she does pumpkins, and the third thing is that she does dots as a coping mechanism. She those objects that are covered in dots are linked to her anxiety as a childhood, which we are all going through right now with COVID-19. It's a different way of life, and when life gets back in order, everything's going to be a lot different. So I thought it was really great to celebrate her on dot day in the year of crazy, as I like to call it. So she, as I said, she's from Japan. She had a love for pumpkins that shaped her practice for over 70 years. She would do drawings, public sculptures, or installations, and stylized by the humble squash became some of the most well-known works amongst her contemporary work or her iconic masterpieces. So she liked the dots because it linked to her anxiety as a childhood trauma. So she could read as a means of therapy and comforting is just making dots. And here, my Bitmoji is being an assistant to me, is showing you some of her artwork. Obviously, here is her pumpkins. I focused on her pumpkins today, but she would do these huge sculptures. So a sculpture is like a standing three-dimensional form that you can see from all sides. And installations is about the placement and like it's a whole ambiance experience. So not only did she have paintings that you all are used to and drawings, but she also brought in her dotted pumpkins to art installations and sculpture. So as you can see, here's some looks. And to celebrate Yaoi, I need to take Japanese. If you have an easier way of saying her name, I would love you to email me, help me out a little bit, TikTok the name to me. But to celebrate her at Dot Day, these are the materials you'll need. A piece of paper, a pencil, an eraser, and markers, crayons, or color pencils. This is very simple because it's the COVID era. And I want you to be able to grab stuff that you have at your disposal and not make it where it's this really difficult project and you don't have your items. So first step, we're going to gather our supplies. Let me wonder if I can move my, oh crap, how do you move? Oh, here we go. So I just want to make sure I'm out of the way. So if you're a visual person, you can read it. But you're going to gather your supplies and we're going to make a draft. So you don't have to use a white sheet of paper. You can use different color sheets. I know like construction paper, you can use any color and then do like black crayon on it or marker. It is your choice. Whatever you have works fine. But we're going to start with a contour drawing. And a contour in the art world is very important. That's a version of an outline of a drawing. So it's basically kind of getting the gist of an object without getting really into detail. So we just want the gist of this pumpkin. As you can see, this pumpkin, we want that round shape, and we want these vertical lines that are kind of bowing out. And that's kind of really what we need, just an outline of a pumpkin, because we're going to fill it in. Make sure you draw light, because you will be erasing away. You want to make sure that you have a really clean, clear composition. So make sure that you can go back in and clean it up whenever you need to. And step 2, let's see if we can get this bad boy. Oh yeah. We are going to now go over our lines with marker, crayon, or color pencil, whichever material you have. And you're going to add dots, small dots, large dots, close together. Be like Vashti. You can make many dots, or just like one little dot, or maybe clusters of them, dots within dots, or dots that are not dots. It's your choice. You can use color like yaoi, or use multiple colors. You are the artist. This is where your artistic freedom comes into play. As you can see, I have the marker, and where I drafted out, I love to do a little draft before I commit to an idea with pencil. And here's my finished one. I added color. Via markers, crayons, or color pencils. Whatever you have near you, you can use. And I filled all the space up, make it a complete composition, meaning the background, I put dots that are not dots to fill in my background, but you can do anything you want. You're the artist. I just want these to be completed, very complete looking. So I also, for just fun, inserted this little time lapse that you can see on my TikTok of me doing the background of my pumpkin. As you can see, I don't even have, my piece of paper is an odd shape. So grab whatever you have nearby. Make the most of dot day. I get hypnotized every time I watch this. And as you can see, I used a dark blue and then lighter blues just to create a contrast. And you can do that too. Very nice. I hope this goes off. There we go. So now, just by chance, I know some of you all in Garrett County live on good old farms. Maybe you all have pumpkins that are easy accessible. Maybe you're on a trip to Walmart and you see them outside. Maybe your grandparents, somebody has a spare pumpkin, because 'tis the season for everything pumpkin. And you may have a pumpkin laying around your house, so use it. And we can be just like yaoi. And you can use paint. Tempera paint is washable paint. You can use acrylic, which I like to refer as acrylic is a liquid plastic. It's more of a permanent paint, but be very careful using it, because if it gets in your clothes, I cannot guarantee it will come out. And definitely don't use watercolor. Watercolor, the pigment, the color is very faint, and it will be hard to get that on the pumpkin and really pop and show your design. I said you can have paintbrushes or a sponge. Hey, you can even use your fingers. I know in the art room it's always a challenge when you're here not to use your fingers. Some reason you all revert to your childish ways when you see paint and just want to put your fingers in it. I think it's a tactile thing. But if you don't have paint and you happen to have some Sharpies or permanent markers, use those. Those do just as good a job to get your design on your pumpkin. And here we go. Here my Bitmoji is helping me again. Grab your pumpkin and paint it. Use sponges, paintbrushes, even your fingers. Just like Vashti, you can make all types of dots. Do it up. Make yaoi proud. Tempera washable paint's fine. Just don't leave your pumpkin outside. If you do and it rains, or maybe in the mornings when there's like condensation where everything's damp outside, the paint will smear off. So if you do tempera, keep your pumpkin inside, away from the weather and the elements. But be careful again using the acrylic paint. I can't say that enough. And permanent markers work great as well. I know that's what I usually do with my nephew. He just turned 8 this year, but In the past, when we've gotten pumpkins and we've decorated them, we use permanent markers, and it almost worked better than doing paint. And like always, let's get this bad boy over here. Couldn't pass up another time to use my Bitmoji. Ha ha ha. But I want you to submit your finished pumpkin. Send me a picture. Email me, Insta me, Facebook me, Twitter me, TikTok me. I want to see your all's work. It's pretty awesome. On TikTok, you should do the time lapse of creating it. Those look really cool. And then upload and tag me. I want to see all your all's artwork. Okay. Have a great day. Have a great dot day. And channel